I'm amazed you're allowed to do that. Jacob was like, I'm supposed to give 2 minutes at least. 5 minutes is his like his preference, I think.
No, Jacob lets me play by my own rules. Yeah. I mean, the 2-minute countdowns, because whenever I see a streamlink come in and I go on and it's a 2-minute countdown, that's my entire attention span is 2 minutes. So then I go out of it. Can't wait that long.
That makes sense. Yeah. Is your friend coming? You said you might have a friend.
Yeah, he's going to join in a few minutes, he said.
All right.
So that'll be fun. I'm excited for you to meet him.
Okay, so we're already on.
We're already on.
I had thoughts when you guys were talking about Genesis. And I might actually clip one of the things that he said, because something that I was being accused of being straw manned for earlier in the day, I think occurred from your friend. He seems nice, but still.
Hey, before you accuse him, he has to come on. He has to.
I know. And the whole time you guys were on it, I was chomping at the bit, as they say. I just wanted so bad to have conversations with you guys, because I was like, are you guys going to mention it? Are you going to? Oh, you didn't mention it. And also, I don't know to what extent we've talked about it. This is Genesis 1. That's what.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's so cool. I see it now.
You see the 7 circles?
Yeah.
Right? So the light and darkness, then the sea and the sky, waters above, waters below, then the dry ground coming up with the vegetation.
So cool.
Yeah. It's all there. There's also way too many 7s. I'm not going to go into it right now.
Is that a piece that you made or something? Like, what is that?
Yeah. I've been slowly making it over the last year and a half, 2 years. It's been a while.
That's amazing.
It's a carving. I don't know if you can it has a
wow. That's epic.
There's Leviathan there.
Wow.
On the right hand, you have the fish that look like fish.
Oh my God.
On the left hand, you have the fish that don't look like fish. Right?
Oh my God.
Still part of God's good creation, but left hand. Not maybe we should consider whether or not we eat such things.
For sure. Also, when Yitzhak joins, you're gonna have to show him that again, because that's super cool.
Awesome. It just, other people are like, "Are you just in the middle of a bullseye?" Kind of looks.
Right. That's what it kind of looks like.
Yeah, looks a little bit like a Mandela. Hopefully, it will be done by Rosh Hashanah. Why will it be done by Rosh Hashanah, Donnie?
I don't know. You only have a few days. Rosh Hashanah is next week.
Yeah, I know.
How is it going to be done by then?
Well, I'm hoping I can get it done by Rosh Hashanah.
What's left?
I got to finish off some fungus over here. Maybe include some more vegetables, and then more stars in the stars, just in the background. And maybe some constellations at the bottom. That's what it's going to be. So Rosh Hashanah is traditionally the day that Adam was created.
Right.
So hopefully get finished by then.
Is that a dispute, or does everyone agree on that? I can't remember.
Is anything
not
agreed upon?
Exactly.
You need half a Jew in order for there to be consensus.
Exactly. Yeah, that's about right.
All right. I think we should talk with or without your friend. Could you come on? What is happening? I'm just.
No, he'll be here. I'll share.
I'm going like that. Yeah.
He'll join at some point. I think probably the next few minutes he'll get on. Let me add this to the stage. Oh my gosh, you can see this is already the fundraising. Jeez. So you were making the point to start that you said that the first verse has 7 words.
Yeah. What do you think the odds are that it's 7 words in a chapter that's obsessed with?
Well, does any other verse have words? I'm curious.
1 second. Can I compete with you? Let me bring this. I'm gonna bring this one up because it just looks. I think. Let me try. Allow me, Donnie.
Please.
Just ask. I've asked you permission. You have to say yes.
Oh, I have to add to stage?
Yes.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Just because it's bigger. That's
sure.
Oh, yeah. So you can see the 7 words right there.
Yeah.
The chapter is leading up to 7, obviously. The word tov appears 7 times. That there's even a gap. One of the things is not described as good.
Which one is that?
These are things that I was going mad about. So let's go through. We'll build to it, and you tell me why it might be. If you could guess what days wouldn't be good and why that might be, could talk about that.
Interesting.
But so literally in the beginning, created God, and then what's this right here? What's an et, Donnie?
Ooh. To me, it's always like people are going to yell at me if they're hearing this, but it's like a filler word. It's like it's like, and it's not really translated.
That's right. Even if you look on here, it doesn't give a translation, right? In the beginning, created God. Right. What's here? A dash.
Right. Yeah. I know there is a concept in rabbinic literature that every single et is explicated. Like there's no like we say, for example, like kaved es avicha v'esimech, like honor your father and mother, and it says the word es, and like the rabbis say it's to include like your older brother, it's to include like it's they make they teach from those extra words what it actually means. So that's my only exposure to what, but I assume it does have an obviously utility in the actual grammar. Obviously.
So yeah, I was taught grammatically that what it's doing is it's saying what was like you have you have a person who's doing an action and what is the action towards, right? And so this is what it's towards. That's saying now we're going to say towards the thing.
Okay. Interesting.
Right. Right. Now, there is a rabbinic tradition, which as a Christian, I have to say, which is that what is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet? Aleph. And what is the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet?
Tough. Oh, interesting.
So how does God create? He creates by speaking. And immediately after it's saying he's going to create, and then he is, because in rabbinic tradition, he has to create the Hebrew alphabet because that's how he creates the world.
Interesting.
Through speech. So immediately you have the concept of the word coming into effect. It's not me who does this. This et. There's a bunch of literature that's been written on how this is to encompass how God creates.
Right.
And this becomes a big thing because in Christianity, we refer to Jesus, who is the word, as the Alpha and the Omega, which Yon God is here. That's the first and last letter of the Greek alphabet.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Fascinating, actually. It's funny when you see it. It's kind of like almost like it pops out at you once you stated that. Now, like it just comes out at you. This is why I understand why you were annoyed that we were missing some of these things because it really.
I was like, wait a second. Seven words in the first verse, and you got this little nugget, and you guys, okay, you just move on. Nothing to say there. I don't know how you take this verse. Also.
What do you mean? In what sense?
Okay. So God created the heavens and the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Explain this to me. Explain. Just
all right.
How would you understand this? Just okay. Don't.
Well, I
read the
think we
words.
highlighted this is a little strange, right? Because it says he created it, and then it says it almost goes backwards, and the earth was so
right.
like, is that talking about before creation, or like what is that referencing? I didn't understand that. It almost seems like he created it, but it wasn't a good form that was created in a sense.
Or the other option is that the earth existed before God created.
Right. That's what you could also take from there. Yeah.
And Nate Heil was talking about this before, and I was kind of being like, "Oh, you mean this bit?" Where he thinks Pageau, Jonathan Pageau, is getting at this. When God created, so you could translate it. When God created the heavens and the earth was formless and void.
Right.
So he's about to create, but it's as though the waters or the heavens and the earth and some kind of great deep exists before creation has even occurred.
Right. Interesting. I mean, the only issue with that is that obviously it's hard to square that away with the first verse. Like, I understand how the second verse can indicate that, but it's really hard to square that away with the first verse, obviously.
Yeah. Well, the first description, it's as though what creation is that there's nothing to speak of at the beginning, right? This tohu vabohu, this void, formless, right? It's waste and wild, right? It's desert imagery. It's almost as though the creation of the world is like planting a garden in the desert, which, spoilers, it'll come back to, right? The image of that.
What image are you referring to? Like
Eden. Okay. Yeah. Eden is again this image of if you're thinking of the area that it seems to be describing. If you go north, south, east, or west, you're going into wilderness. You're going into wild.
Right. Interesting. And then it also references V'choshech al pnei sahom. This is also interesting because God never created darkness at this point, but it's stating that it kind of existed in a way, or it somehow came with the earth. Right.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. And the earth was formless and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. Literally the face, like on the face of the deep, which is a very, very interesting image.
Yeah.
Copy and paste is showing up. Oh, sorry. And then this image, I don't know what is going on. I'm not paying attention to the chat. I know Yanni is always having fun. So
yeah, well, he posted this in Greek, which I don't know what language this is supposed to be honest.
Yeah. He's into biblical Greek, so and I don't know biblical Greek. I did all my work on Hebrew.
Got it.
Okay, so again, I have to as a Christian, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Okay, so again, the waters already exist. The heaven, like the earth, already exists. The darkness already exists.
Right.
It's a very, very strange thing. On how God creates, because there seems to be a whole bunch of elements that already exist.
Right.
And okay, this is a bit for me. I don't know. Tell me how this hits you. Ruach isn't just spirit. It's wind, spirit, and breath. Right? It's all three concepts at once. Correct?
Yes, correct. Meaning it can mean all three of those.
Right. So if God is about to create by speech, right, et speech, right, and the first image, how do you speak? What is speech? Oh, something just happened. What is speech? How do you speak?
With breath. Right?
That's right. So it's an image of giving life, as in like a CPR, right?
Right.
right? That the breath is over it, but it's also an image of speech, also an image of power, like this massive wind, right?
Right. Also, when God actually gives, like when God blows into Adam his soul, right?
Yeah.
Like Nishmat Chaim, like it says that there's a famous commentary on that that's translated as Ruach HaMamala, which means like to actually be able to speak. Like he gave him he makes the soul and speaking synonymous, which is very interesting. Because I would not think that on the surface. Like, why would I bring those two together? At least I wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, one of the ways of looking at it is that this is a repeated image, right? Because the speech is also coming from my mind, right? It's the breath that is I'm sending it out because I'm trying to communicate something to you. So the breath is also a mediator. It flows out of me and gives you access to my thoughts. Right? Like, do you know what Rashi has to say about the hovering?
No, I don't.
So Rashi says that the hovering over the deep is in the way that a dove hovers over its nest.
Interesting.
So it's an image of maternal or paternal. I can't remember which one Rashi is saying, but I assume maternal, of a parent when it's over its creation, right?
Interesting.
I don't know if you know this, but in Christianity, the Holy Spirit is depicted as a dove.
Oh, interesting. No, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Here, I'm looking at it. Like a dove that's hovers over its nest. Interesting.
Yeah, like a dove hovering over its nest, which we see again. So this same image will reappear in the Genesis flood.
Right,
when the ark is over, and it says a great wind, I think it's east wind, a great east wind.
Right. Yeah.
Again, which if you connect spirit with wind, and with breath and all this other stuff, and then they send the dove that goes over the deep when it comes back and brings back the plant. Like, it's very much this image of recreation. And the same image is there at the parting of the Red Sea, right? That from the breath of his nostrils, that the wind sent and it pushes everything back.
Right. Yeah.
How's this going? Any things that are popping up as a result of these ideas?
I do think it's interesting that, like, Elohim is like a very generic way of talking about God, I guess, in a way. It's like very abstract, I think, and Ruach feels much more intimate in a certain sense. And also, it's interesting. It's like the Ruach of Elohim. It's like you could even sense that it's saying like this is more intimate than Elohim is like this broad idea, and Ruach is something more relevant or more specific than Elohim in a way. And I'm not sure that's just kind of like what's rolling around in my mind. I'm trying to think of that. It's almost already heretical. It's like one of the things that's interesting about religion in so many ways, right, is that we try to describe God, which is like inherently heretical. You can't ever describe him, and like away, the Torah itself is giving us this description of it's Elohim, but there's a lower level called Ruach, which is more, I guess, I don't know, relatable in a sense.
So it's immediately fascinating. You could translate, there's debate among ancient Hebrew scholars that God could be referred to as mighty. So you'll find these like translations that will say something like the mighty wind was over the face of the waters.
Right.
Or over the abyss or something like that. But my one professor was like, yeah, but it would have to be a hell of a wind.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is fascinating because, again, this creation, God's name appears repeatedly in the text, but not this chapter.
Right. Yeah.
It's Elohim, which, again,
Right.
if people are losing it over here, it's plural. It's also very strange.
Sure.
Right? Because
Yeah.
you could say, in the beginning created God's the heavens and the earth.
Right. Yeah.
Also, why I don't know why heavens is plural either. The skies and the land, right?
Right.
Shemayim is
Right.
that
Yeah.
little im over here for people who can see it. That's plural. Let's make it plural.
Right. Yeah, it's very interesting. Also, the word hovering is also fascinating because hovering, and when you say that, like hovering could mean like unsteady in a way, like it's hovering, like it's not.
Yeah.
Or hovering could also be referencing like, if someone loves you very deeply, in a sense, they hover as like your fuel, like your encouragement. They're not exactly with you, but they are with you. They hover inside of yourself.
Right. Maintaining a presence. Yeah.
Hovering can be negative or deeply positive. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. That's good. It's very good. Okay, look at this, Donnie. We've gotten 2 verses. Can you see why I was losing my mind?
I'm gonna have to yell at Yitzhak if he ever joins. I'm gonna have to yell at him.
Okay, now he's actually going to speak. Okay, this is also interesting. What is so interesting about this?
Yehi. What is so interesting about that? Let there be.
It's an origin of a very yeah. Go ahead.
Because it's like almost God's name without the vav. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah. It's God's name without the vav.
Interesting.
So we have God. This is on the 3rd time that God's name is mentioned, or God is mentioned.
Right.
He appears. You can almost sense his name without the vav.
Right.
And that's so what he says, like he just says it's like he allows like allow light.
Right.
And there was.
Interesting.
Like, look at that act of creation. It's not ripping things apart, it's not molding with your hands. He just opens his mouth and it just is. Just is.
Yeah. He or yeah. There is something also just so interesting. Like it could have said God created light, like simply. Bayomer, like it didn't even need to say Bayomer. It could just say like, Bara Elohim, or it said it shows the progression. Like he said there's to be light and there was light. It's interesting that it plays it out in that narrative sense.
Yeah. That's good. That's very good. So the first thing that actually is created by speech that we have seen within the text, the first thing which is created, everything else that doesn't count as creation. Huh. Apparently, it doesn't, right? Because it was already there.
Right.
The first thing which is created is light. And now Pajot won't shut up about this. And so I wonder your thoughts on it. Light has a relationship to words themselves. Because they say if you are given a word for something, you are then able to perceive something that you may not be able to perceive before the word is given to you.
Huh.
Which is what
language gives us, language gives us vision in a sense.
Yes. In the ancient mindset, they believed your eyes shot out something that made it able to see.
Right.
And so to create light is to create the ability to notice things. It's the same thing as words. It's the same thing as attention. It's focus. I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to put in there.
Right. It is also just so interesting. I'm like thinking about it, how the reason why, I guess I never heard Pajot talk about this, but the reason why he's talking about this, because basically the Torah should have started by saying, "Vayomer Elokim Yehi Aretz," like let there be land, let there be. It does not do that, and like it's kind of bizarre that all of a sudden, like it's almost like in verse 3, God wakes up and God is like, "Okay, now let there be." Like there's a narrator, and then all of a sudden, now God is talking. It's like very interesting that the first 2 verses are basically like narrated, so to speak, and now the third one is sort of God being in the active sense.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. That's good. That's very good. When you were talking about it, I'm reminded of how God rescues out of Egypt, where it says, "Oh, then God remembered." It's like all this stuff is like already happened, and like it's so strange. It's so strange that sometimes it seems like God shows up late, like as though he wasn't always there. He's like, "Oh, I just like it's so
right."
And remembering is also like light, calling to attention, right?
Yeah.
It's an interesting idea. Adam is way ahead of us, which is also the thing that bothered me.
Day 123. What does that mean? Oh,
1,
day 1,
2, and 3.
Got it. I was like,
1,
oh my
2,
God,
3.
There's so many days of creation I didn't know about. 123 days. I was so confused.
No.
Yeah.
Light is created, and then so it's divided into 2 3s.
Okay.
So the first 3, you create the realms, light and darkness, waters and waters, waters and sky,
right,
and then the land, right?
Okay.
And then the inner realms, the 4, 5, 6, you create the lights that are in the sky, the lights that are in the darkness.
Right.
Then you create what's in the waters above and the waters below.
Okay.
And then you create what's on the land, right? So he makes and then he fills.
Right. Interesting.
Now, it is also interesting because remember how I said that, or you noticed, I didn't even notice this the first time around, but you noticed it, and now I know how it relates, is that the light is created, the darkness isn't created. The darkness already existed.
Right. Yeah.
And then you get this word, okay? So, and saw God the light, and it was good, and he divided God between light and between the darkness. Okay, let's pause there before we go any further. But so he's, again, the notion of sight. Now there's something to see.
Yeah.
And how does he create the light? He divides it. Right? That's a word for dividing.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like light and darkness, because darkness existed from the beginning. The light and the darkness are mixed, and the act of creation is to separate them.
Right, but also before he separated it, and now I don't know how to view this, like he already said it was good. Or no, he didn't say it was good yet. Oh, I'm skipping. Did he say it was good?
Yeah, so it's
Elohim as our kitov. He already saw it was good, and then he separates it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So he sees that it's good, tov, goodness, and it's so strange though. He divided between the light and the darkness. It's like they're one thing that he separates into polar opposites.
Right.
Like they're mixed. Okay, so between the light and the darkness. And called God.
Because I would think after the separation, he would say, "Oh, this is good," but he doesn't. He references the light is good, and then it's like almost like another part of the story. Oh, and then he separates them.
Right. He doesn't. That is so interesting. Is the darkness raw, like bad? It doesn't say the darkness is raw. It just says the light is good.
Right. Yeah.
And there's not. That's interesting too. It doesn't say that he calls it good. he sees that it's good.
Right. Yeah.
Which is fascinating too.
Hmm.
He sees it's good. He sees that
Right.
it's good, and then he calls it. So he names, then the naming occurs.
Right.
So over here, the light he calls day, yom, and the darkness he calls night.
Yeah.
Right. And there was evening, and there was morning, day the first. Yeah. So the first day, fascinating. We got to pause 1 second for this too. It's again, when we're looking at this, there's no sun. How is there a day, right? It is going to know, it's going to call the sun the marker of the day.
Right.
The light for the day. But the day is created before there's even the sun which shall mark it.
Right. Like what? How did this morning and evening look exactly? Basically, is the question.
Right. Which in my depiction, you can it's light, and I have it being like beams of light shining, but you don't have a source. Where's it coming from?
Right.
Light is something that is leaving from one place,
right,
arriving another place. What is it?
Yeah.
So strange.
Yeah. I guess it makes sense why a lot of people discard this text, because it's so bizarre.
Yeah, it is. It's utterly bizarre.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's our first tov. We got one tov so far. Okay.
Hopefully many more.
Yeah. Okay. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it be divided between the waters. The waters." So made God the firmament, and he divided between waters that were under the firmament and the waters that were above the firmament. And it was so.
I never understand. Whenever it starts talking about the rakia, I'm always like, okay, I have no idea what's flying. I have no idea.
Okay. Now, why is it translated in English as firmament? Because explain to people what's confusing about it. It's not the word for sky. What I mean, it kind of is, but why do they describe it as a firmament?
I just know I don't know actually. I just know that I have no idea. I know it's not the sky, and that's when I get lost. I'm like, what is this thing?
Yes. So it's called the firmament because it's firm. It's solid. It like if I pull up the Hebrew word, it's gonna. Unless I'm mistaken, it's related to strength. I think metal is described using similar words somewhere. It's not coming up, but as best I understand, there's been a bunch of work done that has shown that it links with certain words related to something hard, which is like it's the opposite of what we think of when we think of air or sky. Right. We think of less and less substance. Yeah, it's sometimes translated as expanse.
Yeah, expanse. And I know this is one of those verses that, looking at the commentaries, at least when I used to look at them, it would just make me more confused. Yeah. I was like, I cannot figure out what this is.
Yeah. And in like Ezekiel, he sees the expanse, and it's like crystal, which is again like it's hard, solid, clear. Now, Donnie, this is good that you didn't think about it because one of the descenders in the Merkava literature,
Oh, okay.
part of what drives him crazy is trying to figure out how thick the expanse is. And
Really?
yeah, and it's a warning that you should not think about such a thing.
Okay.
So that you said I dropped it and I didn't think about it, you're doing a great job, Donnie.
Amazing.
All right,
Amazing.
that's what the mystical tradition teaches you.
That's hilarious.
Don't look away. Don't pay
Exactly.
attention.
The waters below are future of death, and the waters above is air. The past is the surface of the sea. Interesting. The waters
Okay.
above it, birds swim.
Yeah.
Wait, so what's your interpret? Do you have an interpretation of what this all means?
Well, this is the weirdest one.
Yeah, but do you have like a narrative you tell yourself?
This one I don't understand. I think I understand it symbolically. And that's going to be related to what we're just about to hit.
Okay.
And it was so, and called God the firmament, sky, Shemayim, right? So it's a different word. So he calls the Raki, how would you pronounce it?
The Rakia.
Rakia, sorry. The Rakia he calls Shemayim, which is skies.
Right.
And there was evening and there was morning, day the second. It doesn't say it's good.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. And also it doesn't say, wait, am I getting this confused? Oh, no, that was the first day. Because the first day should have said Yom Rishon. Instead it says Yom Echad. It says one day, but that's not really the appropriate way. It should really be Yom Rishon, the first day. But instead it says it's one day. Like one day versus the first day. Like here it says properly the second day. So it's an interesting...
Right. It's actually the word for second. Yeah.
Correct. I think some commentaries try to say like that Yom Echad is trying to say that this was the first day where it was only God. Like there was nothing else in the world except for God. Like that's one symbol there. But it's just an interesting whatever the question is better than the answer always, you know.
So there's disagreement over when if you believe, which Christians tend to believe, that there is a rebel in heaven. When the rebellion occurs, we are not told when the angels are created. So people throw them into a bunch of different options as to when they're created. And someone like Jonathan Pajot, I think this is what he's getting at. He thinks the whole Bible is about the rejoining of heaven and earth.
Right.
And so the dividing of heaven and earth is not actually good. It's in the same way it's not good for man to be alone.
Right.
It is not told for man to be meant to be alone. Is that the whole scripture is about rejoining heaven and earth.
Interesting. That's actually a really interesting idea. I mean, it really fits with his entire narrative. It fits beautifully for him.
Right. Well, so I'm piecing together what I think he's getting at. It is not good for man to be alone, and the dividing of heaven and earth is the one day that is not described as Tov.
Right.
So
yeah,
the whole thing is about them coming back together again.
That's really fascinating. Interesting.
But other people would say, okay, well, maybe it's not good because that's when there's the fall, where you get the angels become the shadim, right? The spirits.
Right.
They become wicked spirits. That might be where they come from.
Right.
I don't know. It's very strange.
It is really strange.
Very strange, but yeah.
I would love to look at the commentaries on this at a different time. I'll check it out to see if anyone actually talks about it. I'm sure people talk about this. Really interesting. They'll probably the people from the 1300s are probably still quoting Pajot, to be honest.
Yeah, it might be. Well, so this is the thing. He has not said it. He actually has not said what I'm saying.
Really?
He mentions that heaven and earth are not like the division, that day is not described as good. He's
Right.
mentioned that. Now, this also plays a secondary role when you're dealing with poetry,
Mm-hmm.
because you get 7 goods in the chapter. And the day where God creates human beings, he says good twice.
Mm-hmm.
And you only get to have more than one good, because
Right.
it still equals 7 if you didn't use
Right.
one of your 7 on one of the days.
Right. Right.
Oh, that's interesting, because then it might actually connect human beings, the pair, which is like marriage, to the concept of goodness.
Interesting.
Okay. And said God, let there be gathered together the waters under the heavens into one place, a place of one, and let there appear, or let there come out, dry land. It actually just says the dry, and it was so. So look at this image again. It's like it's all mixed together, and the act of creation is again separating the two things that are mixed.
Right. Right.
Right.
Huh.
So the two things are this mixed together, and it's only really good when they're separated.
Right.
Which in Rashi, how is Adam first created? He's created as a hermaphrodite.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so it's almost like he's picking up on this pattern. He creates the mixture, and then the creation is separating into its poles, into its two sides.
I wonder if a lot of this has to do with, like the objective, at least, in Judaism, is to, follow in the ways of God. Like that's the, how do you say it? Like a tagline. And we're just to learn from all his ways, all the way everything he does. And essentially in life, we're always faced with a mixture of good and evil, and we always have to be separating and differentiating between everything. And I wonder if it's already displaying how we should live our life, because really all the magic happens in that differentiation as you live your life, as a human.
Yeah, to be unable to differentiate is to live in darkness. To be unable, God creates by distinguishing and calling something good.
Right. So
the postmodernist arguments and all this other stuff, it's fighting the way God created the world, to differentiate and to refer to the difference, seeing the difference as good.
Yeah. It's almost like, and it keeps going, this differentiation, even like when it talks about the creation of the land and each according to its kind. It's like, it's almost ad nauseum of like how important this ability is. It's fascinating.
Well, and it's why it's important that Adam names the animals,
because that's again another level of differentiation. Right.
That's Adam becoming like Elohim.
Right. Yeah.
He's seeing the boundaries. He's calling the things good. He's differentiating.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fascinating text. And he called, and God called, and called God the dry land, or the earth. He called the dry earth. He calls it Eretz, right? Eretz. And the collection of waters he calls the sea. And again, here it is. God saw that it's good. It's tov.
Yeah. And also, there's an irony there as well, right? He's creating it, and then it's almost like he sees it as if he didn't create it, right? Like
He goes, "Wow,
correct,
wow."
exactly.
Yes, yes,
Like that self pat on the back, you know?
yes. It's like Moses writing in Deuteronomy, and there has not arisen in Israel another prophet like Moses.
Exactly. Yeah.
And God said, "Let us bring forth from the earth grass, the herbs of the field, trees with seed in them and fruit that yields its fruit according to their kind, whose seed in itself is on the earth." And it was so. And brought forth, and it was brought forth on the earth, the vegetation, grass, plants that yield seed according to their kind, and trees that bring forth fruit, and their seeds are in themselves according to their kind. And God saw that it's good. Pajot just said this at the conference, where he just said that God just allows. He just says, "Okay, good, just do your thing," and then they just do it on their own. It's like
Right.
he just has to stop holding back the potential, and it just becomes what it's going to become.
That is an interesting way of reading it, essentially, because like in a way he sort of gives that spark and hopes it will materialize as he envisions it. So it's sort of like him saying, "Okay, you did it." And it actually kind of works if you want to read it that way.
Yeah. It's like he's saying, "Okay, plants, do your thing."
Right.
And then they do their plant thing.
Right.
Right? It's like, light, do your thing.
Right. And there's a Rashi that quotes like the rabbinic text here somewhere about how one of the creations didn't listen. They didn't do it properly. I don't know if you're familiar with this, where
I bet it's going to be the firmament.
The trees. The trees didn't listen properly. I could pull it up. I think
why are the trees being so wicked, Donnie?
It's crazy. We live in a crazy world. Let me pull this up for you. I thought for sure you would be aware of this. Let's see if I can find this, because it's so random, and all this is random, like so many let's see if I could find it.
But what you should know, Donnie, is there's an infinite number of random texts.
That's true.
One can't stop.
Yeah. Here, I'll pull it up just to show you what's going on.
Especially in Jewish tradition, you guys wrote everything down.
There's
so much
to do. We have an addiction. So it's a problem. Here, I'll share my screen for a second so I'm not lying.
It might be related to that Aleph Tav. Yeah, that's how God creates.
Exactly. Here we go. So this is the verse 12. And then Rashi says here, eitz pri. So God was saying it should be a eitz pri, a fruit tree. Shehei tam ha'etz ketam ha'pri. That the taste of the tree should be like the taste of the fruit, right? Not just that the fruit should taste like an apple, but the tree itself should taste like an apple. But the tree didn't listen. Ella vatotze ha'aretz eitz ose pri v'lo ha'etz pri. So instead, it made a tree that creates fruit, but not a fruit tree. Lefikach, therefore, Rashi says, "Kisheniskal adam alavono nifkita gami alavono v'niskalkua." Therefore, when God punished Adam, he also wanted to get a 2-for-1 deal and punish the trees for their sin and not listening to how he wanted them to be created. Meaning,
how does he punish the trees?
He punishes the earth, right? He punishes the earth.
Yeah,
the earth. So it's like, I guess it's connected, the earth and the trees. So it's a really bizarre. This is just such a bizarre rabbinic text, because I assume Rashi is quoting like like the Medrash or the Talmud. It's such a bizarre thing, like that. This is the part of creation where that didn't listen to God when He created it. It's kind of a bummer, by the way, because if trees would taste like fruit, I feel like that would be pretty epic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just some random rabbinic lore, I guess.
It's fascinating. I'm trying to figure this out because there's a way in which Adam is not in the image of God. He jeopardizes something. The idea that the thing is like a reflection of the thing that it came from.
Oh, interesting.
And that it fails at that. It's imperfect.
Interesting. But also, what's the significance of why do the trees? If we could play this game, why would a tree hesitate to? Why doesn't it want it to be the same? Like, what would be the?
I think because Rashi has to figure out why thorns are part of the curse. Everything else that is cursed did something to be cursed.
No, Rashi is actually, if you want to, Rashi's actually is very textual based. So he's struggling with the fact that it says in verse 11, it says eitz pri. I want you to make an eitz pri, right? And then the verse says eitz oseh pri. It adds another word.
Oh,
that's what Rashi's bothered by, and that's why Rashi comes up with this interpretation.
It's fascinating. Sorry, I got to say this to Yanni over here. No, not that one. Where is it? You were just saying, okay. Tov, the good, also means beautiful in Hebrew. When they talk about someone being attractive, it will say that they look good. I think in like ancient English, you'll also get stuff where things, someone who is handsome will be described as goodly. Like, yeah, goodly.
Interesting.
As a way of saying hot, real hot.
That is a good point. I didn't think about it. Like Tovas Mareh was like she was a beautiful woman. It's a very interesting thing. Like that.
Yeah.
That interesting.
Yeah. 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 And evil, which is also bad, right? It's like people look good or they look bad. When you look bad, you don't look. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's not the same as being ugly, but you get a context of it.
Yeah.
Okay. God's and there was evening and there was morning, day the third. And said God, let there be lights in the firmament. See, they're going, or actually, no, that doesn't work. The lights are connected to the first day of creation.
Right.
So let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide between the day and between the night. And let them be as signs or markers for the seasons, for days and for years. And let them be as lights or for lights in the firmament of the heavens to shine upon the earth. And it was so. And made God the two lights, the two great lights, the ones that are great. The light that is greater to rule the day, and the light that is lesser to rule the night. Do you have anything to say there?
Well, have you heard of the rabbinic concept of the moon and the sun fighting over this? Have you heard about this?
No,
concept?
I haven't. This is fun.
So I think Rashi also quotes this, but basically it was what was supposed to. I'm trying to see if I can find it so I don't lie to you about what it says. Let me just pull it up here so I'm not lying. Basically, the sun and the moon were supposed to be created as equals initially. Yeah. And basically they got into a little bit of an ego match. They didn't want to have two kings, right? They got into a brawl.
I like it.
And I think the moon, if I'm getting this right, the moon basically said, said to God, like, we can't have two kings. Like, you got to appoint one king, thinking it would then be appointed
It's obviously going to be me because I took the humble position.
And then God punished the moon, essentially. So let me just read right. Shavim nivru v'nisbata halavana. Right. So he says al shekitra v'amra. So the moon was punished because the moon complained and said, "E efshar l'shnei malachim sheishtamshu b'keser." You can't have two kings with one crown. That was the moon's complaint, and God said, "Okay, you're right. You're going to become now the small light in the sky, and you're not going to be the." It was the moon. I think was also supposed to have its own light, and now it has to rely on the sun's light. So there was like an entire dramatic backstory here in the rabbinic tradition, which is just fascinating. It's just so bizarre. Like, it's kind
everything in it is bizarre because the beginning.
It kind of lends to your question about, in general, rabbinic traditions and how we come to. It's like what is happening? Like how do you see that in the verse exactly? Like, it's fascinating. Yeah.
Now there's another weird. Oh, I think there's another weird thing which is happening, which is it describes the light as coming from the sun. But the light existed before. You have the dependent created before the independent.
Right. The light's been around for days already. Now the sun.
Days.
Yeah.
Days. And somehow there's evening and morning.
Right. Bizarre. Yeah. So weird.
Yeah.
And then it goes further, by the way. Rashi goes further that the stars, you're not going to believe how it's so fun to like learn it like this, where I'm like, when I do it to myself, I'm not like paying attention to what I'm reading, but when I'm talking about
right. That's good.
Amazing. Rashi says, why were the stars created? It keeps going in the narrative and says, Al Yedei Shemid Halavana, Hirba Tzava Lahabis Daita, that God created the stars in a way to appease after God punished the moon, God felt bad for the moon. And it was like, okay, as a consolation prize, let me give you the stars. It's like so bizarre.
What's funny is that's how, and also the stars appears to me in the text. Like when you're writing it, like when you're reading it, it's like he creates the sun and the moon. It's the greater light and the lesser light. It's to control this, to do all the, also stars. It's like the stars are written in like an afterthought.
Yeah. This is all in the Medrash I see here. It's all in the Medrash. And also like the way it phrases it, like lahafis daita, to like appease it's like daita means like it's knowledge, like it's temperament, like it was like basically grieving, so he gives the stars as a way of hopefully, dealing with the grief of losing such. It's a pretty big status to lose. You're about to be a light for everyone, and now you're like, kind of fascinating.
It also allows for that creating in poles that we were talking about before, like the two that are the different. The other thing, this was my interpretation. I drew angels in my bit or carved angels in my section on the stars, right?
Oh, cool! Wow.
So I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I do.
This
is amazing.
Over there.
Are you going to make like copies for like peasants like me for purchase? This is incredible.
I don't know how to. So that's a seraphim.
Wow.
Because seraph also means snake. Donnie can verify that I'm not lying.
Amazing.
But on the planets, you can see the princes.
Wow.
Right? Because stars, there's the moon.
Wow.
The going up, and then there's the throne, right? The wheels upon wheels. But the word for stars is elsewhere used. Come back, Donnie.
You don't see me?
Yeah, now I can see it. There you go. When you did that, it was good because it showed this bigger.
Oh, cool. I thought it was just for me, to be honest. I thought I was just seeing you better. Oh, that's so funny.
No, it was good. You could interpret the creation of the stars as the creation of these angels, of these lesser Elohim.
Oh, interesting.
These lesser beings.
Interesting, huh?
Because they get connected with them.
Right. Huh.
What are the hosts of heaven? The hosts of heaven are either angels or stars. Right? And when people have visions of angels, they sometimes...
Right. Actually, when I think about it, like when David talks about the luminaries, he talks about as Sivakos, like which mean like, it can mean like the luminary, the stars, or it can mean like, but it could also mean God's messengers. It's very, so you're right there. That's very interesting.
Yes. Huh. And Abraham, when he's told, your seed will be like the stars. Right. I don't know if he knows which one that means. Right. Does that mean numerous, or does it mean like the stars?
Mm-hmm.
Right. The notion of being created, like being made like them.
Right.
These, again, have like creatures that are actually meant for heaven.
Huh.
Okay. And also stars. And God set them in the firmament of the heavens to shine upon the earth and to rule over the day and over the night and to divide between light and between darkness.
Right.
And God saw that it's good. And there was evening and there was morning the fourth day. Now you're lucky, Donnie. I don't have much to say about the rest. And said God, let abound the waters with an abundance, or sometimes it's team, an abundance of creatures. That's nefesh, an abundance of spirits.
Yeah, and also sheretz literally means like bugs. Like it means like things on the ground.
Right. Oh, that's right. The swarmers, right?
Yeah.
Sheretz is sometimes it's those things that swarm. Team. Yeah. Translation will say team. It's like when you look. Yeah.
Like I should say literally probably actually does mean yirshatu. You're right. It means, but in the term when you say it like sheretz, like as a singular, it means like usually like, I don't know, like a rat or something like that's crawling.
Right, right. Crawling, creeping.
Creature, yeah.
But the inclusion of nefesh in that word right there, like in that image, it means living beings.
Right.
I don't know. Things with necks.
Yeah.
What is that called? Like vertebrates or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Things. Yeah. Okay. With an abundance of living creatures. So it's interesting. Nefesh. It's so strange to me that you can have a dead nefesh, right? Like, so it's living nefeshes or souls, living souls.
That's a good call. I like that. I like that. See, that's like that's the way Rashi like interprets things. Like he always wonders why is there. You're essentially basically saying why is there an extra word, basically.
Yeah. And birds that fly above the earth on the face of the sky.
Yeah.
Right? That's birds fly like on the face of the sky. That's what birds do. Shemaim. And created God the sea creatures.
Right.
The great ones and everything living that moves, with which abound in the waters according to their kind. Where is it? Gadol. Correct me if I'm wrong. Does this not give a notion of like monster?
I do think it's like translated that way. Let me see if Rashi says anything about it. I'm curious.
Because I think the Tanim are monsters elsewhere.
It's possible. Let's see if I can see anything here.
Yeah, history of translation: dragon, sea monster, serpent, whale.
Yeah, and Rashi translated as the Leviathan, as Leviathan, right? It says,
There he is. There's Leviathan.
yeah, the man himself.
Which was a 7-headed creature if we're to trust other sources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Rashi basically says here that this is that the mystical interpretation is that it's the Leviathan, and it was created male and female, but the Leviathan killed the woman. And basically,
that was nice.
And it basically says that God is saving this female whale that was killed for like in the future times to serve to the righteous people.
I thought, okay. I thought it was the evil one that Leviathan is finally slaughtered and given as food in the resurrection.
I'm not a Leviathan expert, but I'm reading this. It says that's what it says here, that this Leviathan killed the female, and that female is going to be served as like the buffet for food, like in the future times.
I'm trying to think if it's ever done in Judaism. In Christianity, it speaks of the destruction of the sea serpent as the final judgment. So it's the male that is slaughtered, and then in some rabbinic material, it's the skin of Leviathan is what, because it says in the resurrection we celebrate Sukkot, the tabernacles,
right.
And that what will those tabernacles be made of? Is that it's made, it's out of the skins of Leviathan, and that's what we're eating.
I feel like I've heard that too in the Jewish tradition too. Something about not just this reference, which I just discovered now. Like I feel like there are other references to it as well. So random, but okay. It's the most random thing ever.
But it's the Gadol, like Tanim is, I'm certain Tanim is sea monsters. So and the great sea monsters.
Right.
The great ones, the sea monsters, the great ones.
Yeah.
So he creates that, which is okay. That's great. Again, we get these little hints of things that you just go, what? What is that thing you just
Exactly.
Okay. So everything that which moves, every living thing, every living that moves, with which abounds in the waters, according to their kinds, and every bird, the winged, according to its kind. Yeah. And God sees that it's good, and he blesses them. God saying, be fruitful, multiply, fill the waters in the seas, and to the birds let multiply on the earth. And there was evening, and there was morning, day the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, 1 second. What's happening there? Okay. And said God, let the earth bring forth creatures, again, Nefesh, living. This is so hard for me, because to me, Nefesh is like life essence.
Right.
Every single time, Nefesh,
great question.
It's like, what? Why?
Right.
But you can have a dead Nefesh, right? You can have a corpse will be referred to as a dead Nefesh.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah, so it's a strange thing, because it carries with it the idea of life, but you can have a dead life.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So bring forth from the earth creatures living according to their kind. the beasts, right? Behemoth, right? The beasts, the livestock,
Yeah.
and the creepers, the beasts on the earth, according to their kind. And it was so. And made God the beasts of the earth. It's a different word. No, never mind. The beasts of the earth, according to its kind, and livestock, according to its kind, and everything that's a creeper on the earth, according to its kind. And saw God, and it was good. Okay, and said God, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeper that creeps on the earth. So created God man.
It is
In
interesting that you would think in the first. This is the first verse where we're introducing Adam or mankind, and polytheism alert. Exactly. You would think though that it would say something about, and the goal is to be righteous and to be in a, like it doesn't do that at all. Like there's no hint to that. The goal is anything to do with morality. It's about these humans will rule over all these things I created, and it's so not intuitive of what you would, if I would take my whole religious upbringing and say, okay, what's the first thing God says about man and this should obviously the first message about man should indicate its teleology, like its future, and it doesn't do that at all, which is
colonizer. He creates them and says, colonize.
Yeah. So
divide and conquer.
I really believe that the Torah is a comedy. I really believe that in the deepest sense. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's amazing.
Donnie, do you know what a comedy ends in traditionally?
Tragedy.
No, a comedy ends in a wedding.
Really?
Yeah, that's traditionally all of Shakespeare's comedies. They end in a wedding. Tragedy ends in a death. Comedy ends in a wedding. So yes, you are correct.
Perfect. So it's perfect.
Yeah. I think all of it is a wedding. Maybe not the Torah. Torah doesn't end. Yeah.
The Torah ends with comedy, in my opinion.
Which part
the Torah ends with Moses not going into Israel. To me, that's the biggest comedic bit of all time.
You think he's a schlemiel? That's like, have you heard that expression? There's the three people: the schlemiel, the schlemazel, and and the what's it called, the nebish. You think?
No, but it's a comedic bit in the sense that the whole point of the Torah is for the Jews to go to Israel, and then they don't go. To me, that's part of the comedy.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but I mean, in terms of when you watch a really good comedian, like a really good one, by the end of it, you actually want to repent. I know this sounds crazy. If you watch a really good Netflix special, it actually, you actually see the world in a new way, and you actually feel a need to do tshuva, to repent. I really believe that, because it shows you your whole life is obviously through laughter, but you see everything from a different perspective.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, Donnie. Okay. And so created God man, ha'adam, in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. And blessed them, God, and said to them, God said, be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth and subdue it, have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the birds of the air and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. And said God, behold, I have given you every herb of the field that has seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree which in it there is fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for food, and to every beast of the earth and to every bird. Yeah, go ahead.
It shows now it says pre-8. So first it was 8's pre, then it was 8's osa pre, but it didn't listen because it didn't listen to 8's pre, and now it changes it to pre-8. So like it's almost like God has accepted the fact that I'm not getting
came out. Yeah.
I'm not getting my trees that taste like apple. It's not happening. So here we go. We have this,
Mm-hmm. And on the earth, and to every bird in the air, and to everything that is a creeper upon the earth, in which there is the breath of life. No, it's not the soul of life. The soul of life. It's not breath. That's right.
Nefesh. Yeah, nefesh means nefesh. Like it doesn't mean breath. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is in it has the.
I don't know what nefesh means, but it doesn't mean breath.
Yeah. To me, it could also be translated as throat in specific context, but the essence of life.
Right.
Like, but then again, it can't be essence of life because you couldn't have essence of life.
Yeah.
Everything that's alive that lives. Okay.
Yeah.
And every green herb for food, and it was so.
Yeah.
And saw God everything that he had made, and indeed, Tov, very, right?
Yeah.
It's very Tov. It's very Tov. And there was evening, and there was morning, day the 6th.
It is interesting. I don't know if I've thought of it in the sense. Oh, also this is a famous reference that it calls it hashishi. Like every other day, it has the hay in the beginning. This is the only day that has the hay in the beginning. So that's another rabbinic interpretation. They talk about that. But I wanted to mention that the idea of God saying Tov Me'od, very good. I think that's a little bizarre in a way. I never thought of this until now, but like, I feel like as humans, we talk in those terms like, oh, this is good. That burger is very good, but this burger is amazing. Like we have like these hierarchies, but I feel like for God to have hierarchies in that way, for some reason, it's odd in a way. Like in a way to me, like things from God's perspective should be good and not good. The fact that God has a hierarchy, like this is like next level. Like this is not.
There's a greater light and there's a lesser light. There's right. He calls the light good and not the darkness.
Right.
Right. Yeah. That is interesting.
No, I'm not like that. No, I get it I get the darkness being, let's say, bad maybe, but once you're in the good category with God, like. When God wants to give us laws, I understand the hierarchy, and because we're humans. But for Him to have the hierarchy too, in a way, is because to me it sounds like He's. I don't mean this to be crude or to be disrespectful, but in a way, it's like I feel like He's drinking a beer, and He's like, "This is a very good creation. Like this is really up top tier."
Yeah. Oh, it's strange.
It's not the way a God would speak, to use a superlative, is my point.
It's the way a human would speak.
Yeah.
This thing I made, it was good. But this thing I made, this was exactly what I wanted.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, and in a lot of thought, it's God is building to a pinnacle.
Right.
And so the pinnacle, it's like the whole thing is in human beings. Whole thing is in human beings because we're in the image of God. So everything else, like, look, light reflects God in a particular way. Darkness reflects God in a particular way.
Right.
The heavens reflect it. The deep, the abyss, that reflects God in a particular way. Right. All of these creatures, they reflect God in different ways.
Yeah.
But none of them reflect God the way that a human being does.
Sure.
That is very good. It's very, very good at in that it reflects God more than everything else.
Right.
Yeah. they are the godlike creature. They do the things that only God does, humans do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, also very strange is that this chapter does not end with the end of the day.
Oh, interesting.
Or sorry, it doesn't. It's not day 7. Day 7 is another chapter.
Oh, interesting. It starts a new chapter. Interesting. Huh. Fascinating.
Right? So for those who don't know, in a Torah scroll, you can see chapters basically because there'll be an actual space in the text. You
Right.
see like a little, for lack of a better term, someone hit tab.
Yeah.
Right? Someone hit tab, and then you're like, okay, apparently this is a new chapter. Which is why you'll see, even though the chapters aren't numbered in Hebrew, you'll get in some English Bibles because it's different with the Greek. Because I know that Yanni is watching, so it's different because it's different in the Greek. You'll see in an English Bible, it'll say Hebrew chapter begins here, Greek the chapter begins here. Right, where they put a space in a different place, which is funny. Yeah. Okay. And thus we're finished, completed.
Amazing.
The heavens and the earth and all the hosts of them. And finished and ended God on the day, the 7th, his work, which he had done, and he rested on the 7th day from all his work which he had done. And he blessed, God had blessed the day that was the 7th, and he sanctified it, he set it apart, because in it he rested from all the work which God had created and God had accomplished. And then that's the end.
Yeah.
It's like the 7th day is an add-on. Isn't that strange?
That is interesting. Also, is this the first thing he blesses?
Yeah, I guess it is. It would be, yeah.
Or this is the first thing he blesses?
I don't think he blesses anything else.
It's also just so amazing, like, now he blesses it. It's like, meaning, in a way, like when you're going to be finishing your painting soon, your carving, and I could bless it and say, like, I bless that, like, you should complete it with health and it should be great, but for you to like create your own thing and then and you bless your own, it's kind of weird to create your own thing and bless it. It's like blessing almost inherently is from the outside. It's like to bring, I don't know, blessing from not from, you will bring blessing from inside in a sense. And God here is he creates it and he blesses it. It's very interesting.
Well, and that it seems so purposeful that it separates the 7th day. It separates the 7th day from this as special because, and you'll hear people say God created the world in 7 days. He didn't. He created it in 6.
Right.
7th, right? And you get these patterns again of like leading with the 7. So the first chapter has 7 words. The first verse in the first chapter has 7 words. And the second verse has 7 times 7 plus 7. That's 14, right? So you go 7 plus 7, the 7 toves, but then the 7, which is what we're building to, that is a separate day.
Yeah. Fascinating.
It's deeply complex. I honestly, I know how to go crazy about this text and talk all around it. But when you were just like, oh, tell me what your thoughts are on this, I'm like, I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
This This is a shotgun. I have no like. It's so much.
Right. And it's interesting that he blesses it and then he sanctifies it. Like you would think blessing it is already sanctifying it, but no, it's like another step.
Yeah. The double doing of the same thing.
Yeah.
So strange.
Yeah.
All right, Donnie.
Okay, this is so fun. This is great.
This was great. Show this to your friend.
Yeah, he yelled on us. I'm gonna have to yell at him.
I want to hear his thoughts. I want to hear what's the problem.
Yeah, I'm so glad to reconnect with you. I know last time we saw each other in person, so it's so good to reconnect on video.
Yeah, it is very, very good to see you, Donnie.
Likewise.
Sometime we should talk and not talk about the Bible at all. Wait, no, we're not allowed to. That's a sin, right? If two men gather and they don't speak of Torah.
Exactly.
Okay, we'll mention Torah, but I want to talk more.
Okay,
how the Torah applies to you directly, not just a chapter of it. How about that?
Do it. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm going to leave. You can end the stream.
I'll end the stream.
Night, my friend.
Good night.